What is up, ladies and gents? I hope you are, well, I hope you've all been having you all had a good day yesterday. So it is Saturday, the 1st of February 2025. And there is a lot to, obviously this is going to be quite an interesting video. So I wanted to do another video today talking about the inghams and more importantly, the way that they respond to negative comments. So obviously it's not so much Sarah, it's more Chris. Now, obviously I think this has become one of my biggest problems with them is the way that he responds to negative comments. I just think it's kind of out of order, the fact that he's always calling people clowns, amongst other things. Like, I'm not saying, obviously I want to make this perfectly clear. I'm not saying that they don't have the right to retaliate to negative comments or to respond to negative comments if that's what they choose to do. But what I'm saying is there is a more appropriate way. There is definitely a more appropriate way for him to be responding to negative comments that doesn't involve calling people clowns left, right and centre, which is what he does. And I think that I sort of feel like he's gotten away with that way too much. I really hope that one day he comes to regret, he's made to regret saying that. And I think that will happen. I think one day he will say that to someone and they will make him regret it. They will seriously make him regret it. And to be honest, I think it's about time. You've got to smack in the mouth for saying that, because I think that's been very long overdue. I don't know, to be honest with you, half the time I don't know who Hussein thinks he is, calling people things and saying things like that. It's like, there's no, I know that people will say that he's not, that there's nothing wrong with him responding to comments in that way, and he has every right, to respond to negative comments, in that way, and that people are sort of asking for that. But, at the end of the day, there's nothing that really warrants him calling people clowns. There's no kind of justification for that or excuses for that. There's absolutely zero need for him to be responding to negative comments in that way, or to be saying things like that to people. And he makes does he really think that he's gonna keep getting away with saying things like that to people? Because he's not gonna keep getting away with it. People are not gonna allow him to keep getting away with saying things like that. What does he think? He's some kind of big man or something? As calling people clowns. The problem with Chris is he's a big kid throwing his toys out of the pram as people dare to criticise him for something. This is the biggest problem with people like the inghams. Is their inability. Is they just can't stand criticism. It's like this is why I've always said they shouldn't be doing YouTube, because they just they can't stand criticism. It's like, how can you put your lives out there online and show what you do when you can't stand a single bit of criticism? It's like, don't do YouTube if you can't stand criticism. It's as simple as that. I'm trying to be horrible here, but I'm not. I don't know what else to say. But it's just, the way that him in particular, the way that he responds to negative comments is just really inappropriate, really unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable to be responding to comments like that. Calling people clowns and God knows what else. If I responded to negative comments, I certainly wouldn't respond to a negative comment in that way. I certainly wouldn't, I certainly wouldn't be, assuming to all people, to all people clowns and things like that, because it makes him look so pathetic. The fact that he thinks it's okay to keep warning people things like that, and as I said, one day he will be made to, someone will make him regret it, and I really hope that he is made to regret it one day, which I inevitably think he will be made to regret it. You know, I mean, one day he will say that to the wrong person, and he'll get a smack in the mouth. I mean, would he even have to? Would he even say? Would he even call somebody that if he was out in public? Would he actually call somebody a clown? I bet he'd be too scared to do that because he knows he would get a smack in the mouth if he did that. You know, and it's like obviously he's more than, he's very brave warning people that on social media, on the internet, as he knows that people can't really do anything. But I honestly don't think that he would pull somebody that out. If he was out in public and he got into an argument with somebody in public, he certainly wouldn't pull that person. He certainly wouldn't pull somebody that in public, as he knows that he would get a smack in the mouth for it. It's just, he thinks he's some big man. That's the problem with, Hussein DeLong or whatever, people know him as. He thinks he's a big man. But he ain't no big man, he's an idiot. And he's the biggest idiot I have ever seen, quite frankly. And I know that probably does sound a little bit harsh, and that I am really not that bothered. I really don't give a shit if people think that's harsh or not. I honestly don't care. But I think this really just had to be said. Like, he shouldn't be responding to negative comments in the way that he does. He shouldn't. He should be continuously calling people clowns. As one day that will come back to bite him on the backside, and I hope it does. And I really hope it does. I really hope that one day someone makes him regret calling them that. It's about time he got smacked in the mouth for saying things like that. Because this is the thing, like, he can't keep getting away with calling people clowns and things like that. It ain't gonna happen. He ain't gonna keep getting away with that. One day he'll say that, and he'll say that to someone, and they will retaliate. And they will retaliate, and they will, make him regret it. And I really hope they do. I really hope he did that. I really hope that one day someone does make him regret saying things like that. I mean, this is the thing, as I said, he can't keep calling people clowns and expect to get away with that. Because he's not gonna keep getting away with it anymore. As people are not gonna let him get away with that anymore. There's only one clown. And that is Hussein. He's the biggest clown there is. He's more of a clown than any of us are. None of us are the clowns. The only person who is a clown is him. It's fair to say that he's the biggest clown I have ever seen. Which is why it makes me laugh when he calls, it makes me laugh so much when he calls other people clowns. As he's the biggest clown there is. He's the biggest clown going in. He has to treat all other people clowns. The only clown I've seen is him. Throwing his toys out the pram, throwing his toys out the pram as people dare to call him out. Dare to say that the floats are actually shit, which they are. And there's no denying that. He doesn't like the fact that not everyone is willing to blow dust up his back, his backside or whatever. It's that same argument I had made. The problem with Chris and Sarah is they have really, really shown that they just can't take criticism. And it's, like I said, I said these family vloggers shouldn't be doing YouTube if they can't stand criticism, they can't handle criticism. You know, I said the same thing about Ben and Zoe Sullivan. I thought, I said the same thing about them. They probably shouldn't be doing YouTube. They can't, it's obvious that they can't stand criticism. You know, if someone posts a comment that is even the slightest bit critical, Ben and Zoe block them very quickly because they cannot handle that. And it's just that question of, well, if they can't stand criticism, just maybe they shouldn't be doing YouTube. It's like they can't not expect, it's like they can't, not expect to get negative comments because they are going to get negative comments. It's like they think, the problem with people like Chris and Sarah is it's like they think that everybody should agree with what they do. They think that everybody should like what they do. They think that everybody should respect them and respect what they do. But they don't like the fact that not everyone is willing to do that. They don't like the fact that not everyone respects them and not respects them and respects what they do. They don't like the fact that there are some people out there who do genuinely dislike what they do. And they don't like the fact that there are people out there who basically see them for who and what they really are. Like, at the end of the day, it's like people are, when people are critical, people are being critical for good reasons. They are absolute morons in every sense of the word. And I really don't know what else to say. But yeah, as I said, Chris really needs to watch his mouth and stop calling people clowns, because one day he will be made to look ready, and I hope he does. I really hope someone does make him look ready one day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you for another one soon. Bye bye.